Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are fine. We are back with chapter 6, that is combustion and flame. Last time we have started a new topic, that is firefighting, and we have understood that how to fight against fire. We all know that three basic things are required for combustion to take place. And when combustion goes out of control, that leads to a fire accident. In order to control that, we have to work on these three factors only. The factors which are essential for combustion, we have to work on those three only. So first thing we have discussed, that is combustible material. Second thing we have also discussed about cutting off the supply of oxygen. And third thing, that is decreasing the temperature of the combustible material below its ignition temperature. Now today we will be discussing about the other sources which can control the fire, that is the fire extinguisher. Yes. So today we are going to discuss in detail about fire extinguishers. Different types of fire extinguishers which basically produce carbon dioxide gas. As in the last class we have already discussed that carbon dioxide gas is denser than air, so it will settle at the bottom and it will form a cover on the combustible material. And then the supply of oxygen will cut off. Now today we will be discussing about fire extinguisher, and that fire extinguisher is soda acid fire extinguisher. Yes, you are correct. We are going to use sodium bicarbonate and acid. And we will discuss the type of fire extinguisher which is working on this principle. You all have played this game of making artificial volcano. Do you remember in class 4th and 5th? In that what we use? Yes, we use baking soda and vinegar, and that produces and little bit of detergent, and that produces the foam and the carbon dioxide gas comes out of it. So similarly, we are going to discuss about this soda acid fire extinguisher, which contains sodium bicarbonate, and acid is also there, but not vinegar, some other acid. So let us understand the structure of this fire extinguisher, how it is made and what it contains, and how that is working against fire. So this is a metallic cylinder. Okay. On one end it is having a nozzle like thing which is covered by wax seal, and on the other end it is having a plunger with a sharp edge, and above this plunger is placed a thin glass tube, and this glass tube is covered by wire gauze cage. In this metallic cylinder we are going to fill sodium bicarbonate solution, right? And in this sealed thin glass tube we will be putting concentrated sulfuric acid. What we are going to put? Concentrated sulfuric acid. Now when you observe any fire incidents in your surrounding, what we need to do? We have to hit this plunger against the floor. The moment this plunger is hit against the floor, this sharp edge will penetrate or break the seal of this thin glass tube, and the acid will come out and it will react with sodium bicarbonate solution, and it will produce carbon dioxide gas as one of the major products. This carbon dioxide gas will move in the direction where there is a space, and when it will move in upward direction with lot of pressure, it will break this seal of wax, and the carbon dioxide gas will be released. From here the carbon dioxide will be released, and we will allow this carbon dioxide gas to extinguish the fire wherever the fire is taking place, or wherever this we want to control the fire. Have you understood? Yes, this is a metal cylinder having a handle, and in this we have filled sodium bicarbonate solution, and there is a small glass tube which contains concentrated sulfuric acid. When these two react with each other, then they produce carbon dioxide gas, and this carbon dioxide gas will be released through this cylinder and it will control the fire. Now, what is the chemical reaction which is taking place in this cylinder, and how this carbon dioxide is produced, that we need to understand. So, this is sodium bicarbonate, or this is also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, this is sulfuric acid, which is concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, not the dilute one. Then it will produce sodium sulfate, water, and carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide gas is used to fight against fire. Now, where we can use this? We can use this type of fire extinguisher in the areas where some solid objects are caught in fire. Okay, but we cannot use this in case of oil fire. Why we cannot use in case of oil fire? The reason is this gas is denser, so it will settle down at the bottom, and oil is lighter, so it will float. So we won't be able to control the fire. Second thing, where we cannot use this is electrical fire, because if you see this reaction, you will find that water is also there. So if we will use this to fight against the electrical fire, then the person may get electrical shock, because we know what is the reason for that. Yes, so only in case of solid fire incidences where solid objects are wooden objects or something like that caught in fire, there we can use this, but we cannot use this type of fire extinguisher for oil fires or electrical fires. Clear? There are many more fire extinguishers, like liquid carbon dioxide fire extinguishers are also there. In the cylinder, liquid carbon dioxide gas is filled under high pressure. The moment the nozzle is open, the liquid carbon dioxide gets converted into solid carbon dioxide, and that forms a cover on the combustible material, and fire is under control. And another one is soda acid foam fire extinguisher, in which foam is produced. Along with the chemicals, we add a chemical compound like saponin, which will help in producing the foam. And this foam forms a cover. That type of fire extinguisher can be used against oil fire. I hope it is clear. You got a fair idea about soda acid fire extinguisher and how we can control fire by using this type of fire extinguisher.
These are few examples of different types of fire extinguishers which can be used for controlling different types of fire incidences.
Now you have clearly understood what are the things which we can use to fight against fire, and what we need to do if a person is caught in fire. That also we need to understand. First and foremost thing is wrapping the person in blanket Second important thing is removing that person from the site of fire so that suffocation can be avoided. Third primary action which we can do is pouring water on the body so that the excess heat will get removed and the burning can be reduced, or the injury or damage can be minimized. And the most important thing is taking the person to the hospital. Hope you have understood this topic. In case of doubt, you can definitely ask me in our next online class. Bye. Take care.